Action.
Legend has it, it's on the 16th birthday that a witch gets her powers.
To an entire generation of 90s kids, Halloween meant racing to the nearest Blockbuster store to see if they had a new release copy of Hocus Pocus. What's a Blockbuster store, you ask? Well, kids, before we had the ability to stream literally any movie ever made on our phones, smart TVs, and this fridge, people in the 90s had to leave the comfort of their couches and venture down to a store that kept rows and rows of movies stored on VHS cassettes or DVDs.
Uh-oh. We're home!
And a store might only have, say, 7 copies of Hocus Pocus, and if it was borrowed out by other people, you were shit out of luck and went home with this.
We tools may act idiotic, but we're not stupid!
After all these years, I still don't know how to process my feelings for Jessica Rabbit.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
So there was always a rush to borrow out Hocus Pocus around this time of year, and it became one of the most beloved family Halloween movies of the 90s.
Are you broads a little old to be trick-or-treating?
For those who missed it, it told the story of the Sanderson sisters, 3 witches played by the great Bette Midler, a very young Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Najimy. We first meet them way back in 1693 in Old Salem, where the witches are about to be hanged for sucking the soul out of a little girl so they can stay eternally young. Faced with certain death, Midler's Winifred casts a curse that will resurrect her and her sisters if a virgin should ever light the black flame candle in their cottage. The film then jumps forward in time to Halloween 1993, when, you guessed it, the candle gets lit and much mayhem ensues.
We're talking about 3-inch hags versus the 20th century. How bad can it be?
Now, I'm not going to tell you any more about the original. You can go stream it yourself. Instead, let's talk about this long-awaited sequel. You see, rumours of a second Hocus Pocus movie with the original cast started way back in 2014, but were quickly shot down by Bette Midler. So it wasn't until 2019 that the Mouse House confirmed a sequel was in the works when the studio announced it would be released exclusively on Disney+. Gotta say, that didn't exactly fill me with confidence, but I'm pleased to say Hocus Pocus 2 has proved the doubters wrong.
We must fly!
The sequel, like the original, starts in Old Salem, only this time we go back even further to when the Sanderson sisters were young girls before they took up witchcraft. Winifred has just turned 16 and has been promised to some local dude in marriage, and she doesn't want a bar of it. Instead, her and her sisters defy the village reverend, played by Tony Hale, and run away into the Forbidden Forest, where they stumble upon a witch who helps them possess dark magic of their very own.
Magic has a way of uniting. Happy 16th birthday, child.
The sequel then picks up the action 29 years after the events of the first movie in 2022 at a high school in modern Salem. It's here we meet 3 young girls, Becca, Cassie and Izzy, who are played by Whitney Peake, Lilia Buckingham and Belissa Escobedo. Cassie has grown apart from the other 2, but the girls must figure out their differences because Becky and Izzy have accidentally conjured the Sanderson sisters back to life.
Yes, Salem, we're back!
Loosely following the plot of the original, Winnie and her sisters Sarah and Mary want nothing more than to feast on the souls of some youngsters, but soon find teens in 2022 are even harder to capture than the ones in 1993.
Wait, we're not teenagers. No, we only look young, but really we're 40?
40?
And just like Hocus Pocus 1, the sequel contains some industrial strength overacting from our 3 witches.
Hey, it's the Sanderson sisters. I bet you're looking for the stage.
Always.
But that's part of the fun, especially when you see Sarah Jessica Parker lean into playing the ditzy witch Sarah.
Spread out.
Tony Hale is just as fun when he makes a comeback as the town mayor, who bears a striking resemblance to the Reverend of old. While the film has a decent crack at satirising modern life, you get the feeling it could have gone even further and turned into something really special. That aside, you really can't underestimate just how hard it is to pull off a successful sequel to a beloved movie that was released almost 3 decades ago. Seriously, people don't like it when you mess with their childhood nostalgia.
It's not my fault. I never wanted to be famous.
So it's no small thing that Hocus Pocus 2 manages to honour the original movie while giving modern audiences something new.
That's not 6 feet under.
Stop! I am a
good zombie, with a very decent new musical number that reworks One Way or Another by Blondie. And none of us needed to go down to the Blockbuster store to see it. Hocus Pocus 2 gets 3 stars.